At the age of 22, Jedidiah Smith signed up on the expedition of William General Ashley to travel to the upper Missouri and trap beaver. A year later, he led one of Ashley's groups deep into the Central Rockies where he rediscovered the forgotten South Pass, the key settlement of Oregon and California.
The wandering spirit was planted deep in the heart of Jedidiah Smith. Born January 6, 1799, Smith's family moved several times in an effort to stay on the edge of the growing frontier boundary. According to family tradition, young Jedidiah read Biddle's 1814 edition to the Lewis and Clark journals and was set on a living life in the wilderness.
In his lifetime, Smith would travel more extensively into unknown territory than any other single mountain man. He traveled in the Central Rockies, then down to Arizona, across the Mojave Desert, and into California, making him the first American to travel overland to California through the Southwest. In a most amazing journey, he also came back from California across the desert of the Great Basin. The heat became so unbearable, Smith and his men had to bury themselves in the sand to keep cool.
Though he was an accomplished outdoorsman, Smith proved himself as a leader on the trail. On his second expedition, he was attacked by a grizzly bear. The bear came out of the thicket and mauled Smith violently, threw him to the ground, smashing his ribs and literally ripping off his scalp. When the attack was over, the scalp was hanging on his head by an ear. Smith instructed Jim Kleiman to sew it back on. Kleiman did the best he could, but thought nothing could be done for the severed ear. Smith insisted that he try, according to Kleiman. I put my needle sticking in it through and through and over, lying lacquered parts together as nice as I could with my hands. After 2 weeks of rest, Smith resumed his duty as captain of the party.
In 1930, Smith rattled over the death of his mother and neglect of family duty, decided he had enough of mountain life. He purchased a farm and townhouse complete with servants in St. Louis. However, he would have to make one more fated trip across the wilds of the Southwest. When Smith sold his shares in the Rocky Mountain Fur Company the year before, he had agreed to help provide supplies for the subsequent owners. He left in spring of 1831 while looking for water on the Santa Fe Trail. He was killed by Comanche warriors.
Most of Smith's knowledge died with him. His plans to edit and publish his journals and have a master map constructed were never realized. Nevertheless, Smith was satisfied with his wilderness career. I started into the mountains with a determination of becoming a first-rate hunter, of making myself thoroughly acquainted with the character and habits of Indians, of tracing out the source of the Columbia River and following to its mouth, and of making the whole profitable to me, and I have perfectly succeeded.